Quantum Conversations, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by acoustichealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at acoustichealth.com. acoustichealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And in this space of infinite potential is this divine essence, this divine love. And my guest today is all about getting you into alignment with divine love. We are going to receive an activation for the heart, mind, body, and soul. It is with my pleasure that I present to you Denise Marie, who is a beautiful healer, and we are talking about engaging life from a higher consciousness. Denise, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to our show.
Hi, Loren. It's so wonderful to be here.
Yes, it is wonderful to be here, and we are really feeling this new earth that we're on in this great, let's say, time of COVID. It is an opportunity for the newness. So let's check in with you, Denise. How is it going? How are you holding up, and what are you working on?
Well, all is well. Sometimes it doesn't seem that way if we're looking at the news. But what I've been working on since our last call is I had a special task from Spirit, which was to start working energetically on nursing homes and long-term care facilities, working on our senior population, on our elders, and working on staff workers at these places. So that started roughly about a year ago, but it kicked up in September and October. I had no idea why, but I'm movable for the divine. I listen. I deliver the frequencies that are needed. So a lot of it was completing people's Akashic records. Like I would go into the nursing home, work with people on the records, as I said. It might be healing pain or trauma. It was just a lot of work going on. And I started to think, something's going on here. And I thought, what would cause? I could sense that the records were completing, so I thought it was some kind of a passing. And at first I thought it must be maybe a fire. I'm like, what would take a lot of people out at one time? Like I didn't understand what it was. But now I know it was this COVID, which, as we know, has hit nursing homes really hard. So I've been working on that. I'm still doing that. And it's a lot of clearing energy, a lot of healing energies for the people that are grieving, and also a lot of recovery. A lot of people are recovering, and even our seniors are recovering from the sickness. So that's been the majority of my work. And I will say, as I was doing this energy, it was just layer upon layer of energy in these homes. It's also bringing about, as you mentioned, new solutions are coming. Like there's going to be big changes in how we treat the elderly, and not so much locking them away, putting somewhere, and I know that sounds awful wording it like that, but there's a lot of reasons for it. But new solutions are being dropped into people's brains right now, or into their mind, and we're going to see wonderful new changes for our seniors. So a lot of change is coming about.
Don't you love that? I know the solutions, and so what's happening is as this higher light is coming in, people are opening their hearts, and those solutions are being presented. People are realizing that this is not the best situation for their loved ones, and so I think that whole system will change. That's a beautiful thing, actually, when we look at it. So this is happening all across the board. I think it's really interesting that you felt guided to work with the senior living centers well before all of this. I think that's just amazing, and we do thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. It really is an honor, but it wasn't me. I didn't come up with that plan. Spirit guided me and was sending me there. And one other thing I'll just mention while we're talking about the senior centers. Back in March, I went into the home, and I felt the coronavirus. I felt the energy, because everything happens energetically first. And I walked in, and my body just started to panic. My teeth were chattering. My body was shaking. I felt nauseous. I had to get outside because I felt that energy. And what was interesting about the virus, it was the fear that hit the nursing home first, the fear for the staff workers, fear for the residents, fear of dying a painful death, fear of the illness. There were just so many layers to the virus, and fear latched on to the virus, so all of that is what hit the nursing home. But when I left there, it took me probably a week to 10 days. I don't know exactly how long, but I had to process all of that fear. So it was just layer upon layer of the fear, and I would go into the panic, and my body would respond. And then I would embody higher and higher frequencies of divine love, of peace and patience and compassion. And it was like this internal tug of war going on between these higher frequencies and then the fear. In bed at night, I was just dripping in sweat. I would panic. My heart was racing. But it was clearing and processing all of the fear and the darker energies attached to that coronavirus. And say 10 days or however many days it was, all of a sudden I could feel both sides of it, like the duality, the higher energies coming in, the fear, and then there was just this explosion of light, and this complete peace came over my body. And my mind was so calm. It's that deep peace beyond understanding that just filled my body. And then when I got to that point, after I had processed the fear, then I started anchoring in that light. So it was an even higher light when it was free of all the fear and all the programming of that virus. And then I've just been working on sending that to the nursing home, sending it down into the earth so it could spread across the grid, so everybody is benefiting from this energy.
That is true light work, and we thank you, and Gaia thanks you. Again, it's an indicator of how you truly listened and tapped in, felt the energy, and now are assisting with the planet. It's beautiful work. So we're going to talk today with some activations as well for everyone, so our tribe here can really feel into the energy work that you offer. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about, engaging life from a higher consciousness. This is what's happening on the collective as we are literally witnessing what's going on one level, on a three. We can look at this on a 3D level. There's still a lot of bickering going on, and that's interesting, but still that's doing the job of awakening people to what's important. What do you have to share on this in all of this chaos?
In all of this chaos. So the chaos comes before clarity. And right now, everybody's thoughts are being kicked up. The fearful thoughts are kicked up. And when that energy comes about, we almost hesitate to say the word need that, but it's a good thing when we're all in this chaotic energy, because then clarity can come, then peace can come. So when our thoughts are kicked up and the arguing and the lashing out, that we can see in some places going on, that's all of the egoic mind. All of that comes from the ego. We have to clear our egoic programming so that our ego doesn't lead. We want the ego in the back seat. And that's part of what we're seeing right now. Everybody's egos kick up. But then as we have that awareness and we work through it and we embody the higher frequencies, the ego calms down. The ego gets comfortable being in those higher frequencies, and then it's a healthy ego. And we can allow spirit to live. But we have to have that opportunity to look at our ego, have the awareness of the thoughts that have been running our mind and what we're listening to and the newscasts we're listening to and how we're lashing out, all of that. So as we do this and that awareness kicks in, then we start to change our behaviors. And it's all leading to peace. It's leading ultimately to heaven on earth. So this is Gaia's clearing. All of humanity is clearing out. And once we're clear, there's room for the light of our soul to come into our body. And that's what we're doing. That's how we engage from a higher consciousness.
Yes, it is true embodiment. And you're going to lead us on an activation for that today. We're really looking forward to that. So really just getting this baggage out, more light comes in. What are the roadblocks that you see with people? What resistance do you see with any of this baggage and releasing this baggage? Do you see any general threads?
Let's see. Well, of course, the heart being closed would be number one. Of course, there's a lot of resistance. The heart being closed, people are afraid to open their hearts because they were hurt when they were loving. Mm-hmm. So that's number one, is the heart closed. Number two, people listen to their thoughts. And your thoughts, your mind will always have something to say. And we can just observe that it's saying something, but we don't want to follow that and get caught up in it. We want to stay centered and listening to our truth and listening to our soul. So the ego is a block, not opening the heart. And then sometimes the bodies, if a lot of trauma and pain is stored in the body, then those higher frequencies aren't able to land and just flow through the body. So that holds a lot of people back. So we have to look. This is an opportunity to look at the old trauma that we stuffed down because we couldn't deal with it before. Now that's coming up for us to deal with it and to heal it. And again, as we do that, it makes more room for our light body to land.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, this is where we go when we get rid of that baggage. All right. So let's talk about the light body and how we can really work with our light body. What does that mean to work with our light body, to expand our light body and activate the light body?
So when I say light body, how I use that is the same as your soul. Your soul comes in as light. We have to embody our soul from our feet to our fingertips, like through the entire body. It has to land in the root chakra through all of our energy centers. So that's what this work is, embodying more and more light. Our whole body is being made over in light. Our DNA, we're being reprogrammed. It's a lot for the body to handle. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about your soul or I'm talking about your light body. We want the light body, the light of our soul, to run our lives. But most people, maybe their parents are still running their body, or maybe trauma's running their body, or an ex-boyfriend is running the body. So we take a look at that. What's running your body? And if it's not your soul and your light body running your body, there's work to be done.
Yes, there's work to be done, and that's how you work with people because you're able to see those areas where the soul is not allowed in, and this is the
Right.
deep
I would say
inner
I
work.
feel.
You
So I'm not a
feel,
seer, but I feel. I
you
feel where
feel.
energy is locked in people's body, and then a frequency comes through to undo or unravel or heal whatever's needed of those blockages.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to take some questions from our audience today and interface with you. So if you're on the phone, *6 will allow you to raise your hand, and you can ask a question. We've also got chat lines open. And before we get there, we are going to receive an infusion of peace from Marie, Denise Marie, today. And tell us what's going on here, because we can easily get locked into the 3D and the old earth. And this is actually something that you're going to connect and infuse us with to empower and keep us in alignment.
Yes, so we'll be doing these. I call them the frequencies of heaven. And this, when I was asked to bring these frequencies to the earth, which was in 2016, because these patterns of darkness were coming up to be revealed and to be released. And I was asked to bring these frequencies through. The first frequency they came through was peace, and they called it peace in times of chaos. So in 2016, I was already being prepared to bring through this energy for this time now. So this has been going on for several years. So we'll be bringing through the peace frequency. It's a pure peace frequency, or the peace beyond understanding. It'll feel wonderful for everyone. And then the most recent download I received was a frequency of patience. And I'll just share this quickly. It was at the end of 2019, and I was guided to go to the bank. So I listened, I go to the bank, I get in line, and they said it'll be a couple minutes, it might be 10 minutes. And I said, oh, that's fine. And I could feel energy starting to come through my body was shaking. And I waited. Maybe after 5 minutes, it felt like this big bang, like something dropped through me. And everybody gathered around. They peeked out of their offices to see what happened. And it was this energy of patience that just shot through me, and I was to anchor it. It was on the East Coast. I was anchoring this energy of patience into the earth. It just happened to be at the bank. At first, I was like, wow, that's too powerful just for waiting in line at a bank. But it was actually the frequencies that we see right now. So it's patience to, just so everyone can have patience while this corona runs its course. So that will be included. And then we'll also be doing a divine love frequency. So everyone's going to feel much better and lighter and free. It's just a beautiful healing energy that will be coming through in the activation.
Beautiful. And this is really fifth dimensional energies then that we can certainly feel a lot more of and use a lot more of and align with a lot more of. And how great, how beautiful to use this show and be inspired and receive these beautiful, uplifting frequencies. So let's go ahead and give you space for that now, Denise Marie. This is your activation of divine love with the frequencies of peace and patience.
Yes, okay. So now this is spirit doing the work through the energy and through the frequencies. So I'm kind of stepping myself out of the way to bring these frequencies through. So let's take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to inhale, and then on the exhale, just release any stress or anxiety. Let's do 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, and let go of any tension you're holding on to. And just 1 more time. So one of the things that I've learned is that the body needs to be relaxed to receive these frequencies. And when we do the deep breaths and we just let go of the tension, it opens us up. It opens up the cells of the body to receive these frequencies. So now I invite you to close your eyes. And when we close our eyes, we kind of block out the outside world. So it's really nice to focus on the internal. And we're going to connect with Mother Earth, with our Earth Mother. And imagine there's a rose quartz crystal at the center of the earth. And just tap into that any way that feels right for you. You're just going to tap into that rose quartz crystal. And we're not thinking about this, we're just allowing it to happen. And once you have that connection, you're kind of tuning your body to it. And you should feel this nourishing, nurturing energy. You may feel that. You may feel nothing. It's all good. You're just connecting any way you know how with the earth. And now we're going to connect with a quartz crystal in the center of the sun. So just take your awareness up to that quartz crystal in the sun, and then let that energy, those higher frequencies from the sun, fill up your body. And now invite in your soul. Your body may start shaking a little bit or moving. It may start tuning to your soul. And we'll start with this gentle, calming energy. So this energy is flowing down, washing over you, through you. And this energy will help to calm the mind and soothe the body. It's bringing healing and balance to the frequencies of chaos and confusion. Anywhere in your field, these energies are all chaotic. We're just calming them down. Old survival fears that are coming up. And many of us, we've been triggered by the fear of the virus, fear of getting sick, fear of not having money, not being able to eat, starving, all of these fears. Just notice where they're showing up in your body. They're just coming up to be released. And when you feel where that is, just let go of where it's wired in the body. So the light frequencies, they're repairing and healing your energy field, healing those old survival fears. Good, and we're bringing in this energy, I call it a safe and sound activation. And this will bring a feeling of safety in your body. And this one comes in like a little light seed coming down through the crown, floating down your body until it lands in the root chakra. And this brings emotional stability. You'll feel safe, steady, and balanced. And with this energy is also this, you are the safety you've been looking for. Let that land in your root. Good, and now this next frequency is filling your body with peace. It's a blessing of pure peace washing over you and through you. It's restoring harmony in your heart, aligning your thoughts with peace. Just rest in this energy. This is an infusion of peace and calm and simplicity. And pay attention to what's happening in your body as you're sitting in this higher frequency. This transmission will help you to find that deep peace within yourself. It brings with it new possibilities for handling conflict in relationship. Promotes peaceful conversations. So these higher frequencies support authentic, caring, honest communication. It's bringing peace within families. And you'll feel that right down to your feet. You'll feel that all through your body. All right, and now the frequency of patience. And we can all use a little more patience. And this is patience while Corona runs its course. There's no need to get angry or upset if things get delayed. You have the ability to remain calm while waiting. Now, whether waiting to get out of lockdown or maybe you're trying to teach your children something and they just don't get it, and we need a little patience. I know for a lot of parents, homeschooling, and maybe some of them are working at home, we need patience, sometimes dealing with our children. So this patience, it brings about accepting not getting what you want when you want it. And patience on your spiritual path. Maybe you're thinking you should be further along on the path than you are. But you can't take yourself beyond your own evolution. And this next one is divine love. And this divine love frequency helps you to focus your thoughts on love. When you focus on love, fear disappears. We are here to love unconditionally. And we are healing the world as we are loving others. We're activating love in all of your relationships, giving you the ability to enjoy relationships. Responding to others with love makes us wise and discerning. There was a lot of powerful energy on that. That was potent and strong. Responding to others with love makes us wise and discerning. And this energy will help you to be kinder and more compassionate towards others. Now we'll just bring in some family love energy. Every moment with another family member is precious. And we're all family. Every person on the planet is your family. Every moment with another human is precious. Notice how your body feels. You may feel a sense of warmth or maybe spaciousness. Could be some tingling or vibrating going on. Bring your awareness to your feet. We're going to ground this energy into your body. And now send that energy, that light, out from your the bottom of your feet down into the earth. And we're grounding the energy of this activation into the earth and into your reality. We'll just give this another moment for this to completely land. And when you're ready, you can begin to move your hands and feet and just kind of shake yourself out a little bit and open your eyes. And it is done.
It is done, and see the new earth. You can see the frequency has shifted. That is amazing. I'd love to hear how people felt with that energy, especially as it anchored into the body. This is higher frequency in the body. So share with us. It helps others. Wow. What a beautiful experience for relationships on all fronts. And for those who maybe not just kids that we're in the house with, but spouses or partners or roommates, or even if you're alone, this feeling of the frequencies of patience are really heartwarming there. And the peace frequency, awesome. So share with us, *2 if you're on the phone. We would love to hear from you. Denise Marie is here to chat with you today. So Denise, we've got a question coming in. This is from Deborah. And so what can you do for Deborah? Deborah asks, can you help me to understand my soul mission and what's blocking me to receive my information about my soul's calling and how I can remove the blocks?
Okay, Deborah, let's just feel into your energy. And the one thing I would say is that if we try to understand it, that makes it really hard. So there's nothing to understand. It's more about living it and feeling the frequencies. Okay, so Deborah, I want you to just invite in your soul. I know we started to do that earlier. And so I can just feel into this energy, and what I'm sensing is how far apart the vibration of your soul and the physical body. And I experienced that myself, so I'm speaking from experience. I had an experience when my soul came into my body, and I kept asking for my soul to come in. And when it did, I had the feeling almost like I was dying or something. The frequencies were too far apart, and I couldn't embody my soul. And then it was still another year or two of working with the frequencies of heaven and these higher frequencies before I could hold the light of my soul. So it feels like it's in your second chakra. Maybe there was some kind of trauma, if there, and almost into the, like where you victim consciousness. So it's in the second and third conscious chakra. That feels like there's something there, so I'm going to work on that. And sometimes, and when I say I'm going to work on that, of course I don't know how to do this. It's spirit doing this. So there's energy coming through that's just hitting that second and third chakra and loosening up, we could say, any blockages. So how it loosens up blockages, it hits it with this high light, and then in the coming days or weeks, that something may hit you. And it might be an old trauma. There might be a memory. It could happen in 5 minutes, too. But for myself, it always came a little bit later. And that energy gets pushed up so you can just spend a little time with it and look at it. And a very little time. You don't need a lot of time to look at this. And then it processes through the body. So the frequencies that come in are pushing the trauma and what's there to the surface so it can be healed and released. So that's what's coming through, and that's going to make a big difference. The other thing is that one, be patient. You had that patience download. And each day, just sit for a couple of minutes and allow the light of your soul to fill your body. It'll just be a little bit in the beginning. Maybe when my soul first came in, I was lucky to feel it for a second or 2 seconds. And it took time, and then I could build up and I could hold it maybe for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. But it happened over years. It wasn't overnight. But each day, just sit for a couple of minutes, and more of your soul's light will come into your body if you invite it. And then you start tuning to those frequencies as they're coming in. And you're training your body to be made over in the light of your soul. And those frequencies that came through hit those blockages, and that's loosened up that energy. And you're going to see that will help you.
Okay. All right, Deborah, we hope that helps you. And that makes so much sense to all of us. And we think about feeling the soul and feeling the embodiment. I love what you said and what you shared about the relaxation. It is in our relaxation where the frequencies come in. All right, let's go to another question. This time it's from Amy. Amy says, these last couple of months have been a huge gift to accelerate me stepping into my sovereignty. I want to be sure I'm really receiving everything God has for me now. Does Denise Marie see any spaces where I may need to allow more of my light?
Okay, let me see into... So how I normally work is when I connect with someone, it's even easier. I'm going to focus on her, and as I ask questions, then I feel the energy, and I can feel where it's, well, I'm going to say Amy is doing a great job receiving her light, and it feels like she's where she's meant to be. And one thing you can do each morning is you can ask, how can I embody these highest frequencies of my soul or of divine love, and sit in that energy each day, and you can ask. And it's going to be, as you're fine-tuning where you are on your path, there's either going to be something to let go of, or there's going to be a higher frequency to embody. And it's a process of both, but you won't be given the answer to both things at the same time. It might be, well, a little more love, or it might be putting in action, the love in action, because if we embody all these frequencies and we feel wonderful and we're like in la-la land in these high frequencies, that's not enough. We have to be out in the world taking action, sharing the frequencies. That's when you embody your soul. And you can ask. One thing I used to say was, use me, and that was it. Use me. Where do I go today? And I'm always sent somewhere. And it could be a cashier. Sometimes it was someone in the nursing home. Like, I don't know who it's going to be, but I ask every day, where do you need me? What do I do? Sometimes it might be watching the news, and there'll be an area where I'll just focus love on that area. So I would ask your soul what is needed. And 5 minutes a day. If you just start with that, it might grow to an hour a day. But as you sit into those frequencies of your soul, listen for the guidance and follow it and take action. That's where the real integration happens, when you're spreading love out in the world. So I hope that helps, Amy.
Okay, Amy. Yes, thank you. All right, we're going to go to our phone line now. For those who would like to speak with Denise Marie, star 2 if you're on the phone or the web call. Let's go to Dawn in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Dawn.
Hey. How are you, Lauren and Denise?
Awesome.
Hi, Dawn.
Thank you for taking my call. I was trying to figure out whether, is there something blocking me about getting back into the world with my business? It seems like I'm still sort of dealing with some governmental red tape. Is there anything I can do to sort of loosen some of that up? Seems like it's been holding me for a while, and see if you can read something around that. and also anything that you can confer about when you think the situation with the country might loosen up again.
Okay. So there's something with money. There needs to be a rewiring amount of money. Let me just sit here for a moment. Let me just. So where there's a program running, we could say, is that money is God. And we need to rewire that, which we're going to do right now. But money is money and God is God. I don't know, does that make sense to you? But there's somewhere in your programming that's putting your faith in money more than God.
Okay. I don't necessarily. I do think that that money's sort of flowed from me pretty easily, and then it stopped. In some ways.
Sometimes that happens on the spiritual path, and as we start embodying our soul, and it's just to let us see what underlying programs. So the things with these programs are that we're not conscious of them. We're not aware that this was stored somewhere in our subconscious, and then when the money stops and we go into the fear vibration, it's like, what's going on? And that's an opportunity to bring up some of these old programs. So let's start with that, and we'll see where we are. So money is money and God is God. And this, for everybody on the call, this is a real common one. So we're just going to rewire that energy. So, Don, take a moment and focus on your tailbone. I just want to bring you down in your body.
Okay.
And what are you noticing, if anything, in your body?
Well, I've always had sort of a huge, I have something called spondylolisthesis, and it's my sacrum and my lumbar L5 are sort of disjointed a little bit. So I've had that since, for a long time. And it seems to impact a lot of my, like I have some back stuff, but I've been addressing that some by doing a lot of stretching and doing some exercises for my legs. So it's not bothering me as much right now, but it's always been there.
Okay, and that's good. What you're doing is good. The stretching is good, but that's around the area where where this energy is running for the this rewiring that's taking place around money.
Is this first chakra, or is this?
It's both. It's first and second.
Okay.
So it was kind of in your back, and I needed you to come below that. I needed you to come down into the root, or I just had to feel you all the way in your body. Is it natural for you to be fully present in your body?
No. That's something that's never been natural for me at all.
Okay. So there's a nice way to do that.
And family of origin, money is God in my family, and it's been
okay. So that's a family pattern, and so this energy is coming there into your body to clear that. But that's a family pattern, and that's so common that money is God. So when people make their decisions, it's all about how does that affect my money? What's in it for me? How much money for me? It's not asking what's the highest good for my soul or what's the highest good for all. It's just how do I get more money? So that's the program that's running, and it's the family pattern, and the energy is coming through, and it's hitting that energy now. But how this will land even more in your body is for you to be fully present in your body. So bring your awareness to your feet, and even focus on the space under your feet. So that's between your feet and the floor. Just bring your awareness there, like to the soles of your feet. So I want your energy lower in the body as we're doing this rewiring. It feels like there's a few other pieces of this.
Okay. I'm there.
Okay, so I'm just sitting here to say, good, all right. And this is still hitting that pattern, so we want to rewire this to God is God. Just feel how pure that is, that God is God. Money is money. They're not related. And so all the wiring, and I'm calling it wiring, in your body, that's all crossed. So one more time, I'm just going to bring in this energy, and this will take a little while before it really lands. But what you're going to notice right away is you'll see when you say something or when you have a thought, how entrenched this pattern is that money is God, or that God is money. Okay, so God is God, money is money. And there's this energy, this is very common. I had all of these with money, and some of them still come up. But it's almost that the money is more powerful, or a bill has more power than God presence. Like that's what your energy is saying. So we're just going to undo that pattern. So it's an energy that hits the pattern, and then the integration is what takes place in the coming days and weeks. And that pattern will come up, it will be revealed, and then you have the opportunity to make a different choice. You're coming from a higher choice point that wouldn't have been available to you before, but will be available as you anchor into the pure, higher frequency that God is God, money is money. So what's happening in your body? What do you notice?
Kind of, in some ways, I think I feel a little bit like disconnected. My gut is sort of there, but it's not. I tend to go up in my head. So.
Okay, and that's very common. A lot of people go into their head. So here's the thing: when you're in your head, and we're coming from our egoic mind, we're not able to do the clearing work or the healing work. And a lot of us do that. We go through this, we listen to the calls, we do the work, but it's all done through the egoic mind. So what I would recommend is to do those little practices where you come into your body, where you focus on the tailbone. Breathe into your tailbone, almost like you're inhaling into the tailbone and exhaling. Put your focus, if you go for a walk, on the soles of your feet. That helps bring you into the body. And then another thing you can do when your mind is, as you said, you spend a lot of time in your mind, and that's the 3D world. We were all trained that way. When your mind starts to take over, you want to have a practice to bring you back into the body. But one thing, if you're up in your mind, I'll give an example of something that I do. I'll just say a little blessing, and this is one I'll use from time to time. Just this: love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love within me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. And I'll just repeat that several times so I use my mind so that my thoughts don't use my mind, because my egoic mind thoughts will always be sending me in the wrong direction. So if I just have a little practice, and it could be anything. Sometimes it might be, Source, show me who I am, speak me. I'll just say something like that, but it's a way to get myself out of my head. And then when I feel I'm present in my body, or I'm tuned to love, then I'll either do the healing work or I'll ask for guidance. But for you, being in your body is going to be what can help you the most. The stretching that you're doing and those exercises, that's all good, because that brings you into your body. And just notice, Don, what comes up in the coming days. A lot of energy just hit that pattern. It was rewired, and now it's the integration is up to you. This work is self-responsibility, and it's time to make new choices in the moment from a higher choice point. So thank you, Don, for calling in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Dawn. Isn't that amazing that she totally pegged that program?
And a lot of people don't realize. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I think, some of mine is I was the one in the family that broke from the program and did not, my parents wanted me to just, particularly my dad, just worry about money. Money was everything, and I broke it to go do what I wanted to do. And it feels like, it's fractured the family some in that, I was the one that said, no, I'm not going to worship this. But, and then it has ended up being my family doesn't support me as much because I said I'm going to do something else. And so it's been an interesting to have to fight that, that it wasn't welcomed in my family to break that paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, interesting. And that is a hard pattern. And your father or your parents got it from their parents, and they can't help it. They don't have tools to break the programming, but you did. And you want to honor that you made these choices that honor you and that you didn't want to keep that program going. So there's just pieces of that needed to be cleared out because it was still stored in your body.
Sure, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Well, that is amazing, Denise Marie. It's really interesting to see you work. It's just amazing how you nail it. And you do personal sessions that we'll talk about in a moment. You help people connect in this way and remove the blocks. We're going to take a question now. I wonder if you can help Missy. Missy. She is in the state of Michigan, and she says there's lots of chaos in my state. The police stopped a father and a son in a friend's neighborhood because he took his son along for essentials. It's hard to stay calm when you see an impending police state, mandatory vaccines, etc. Sometimes the fear makes me think of leaving. Like the peace we talk of won't exist in my lifetime. So, can you speak to this?
Yes. So, Missy, in Michigan, was it? Yes, there's lots of chaos there. There's lots of chaos everywhere, and we're all feeling that. And when we get caught in the chaos, it is hard to even imagine that peace can exist. But it does, and it's available, and it's available as a frequency. And it also, you want to look at where you're placing your focus. So say you see this where the man took his son. Can you hold the energy of peace? Can you send love to that situation? Because if you're reacting and you're getting angry and you're thinking, oh, this is crazy, or whatever you're thinking, that's not helping the situation. So when you see something, if you're reacting, you know you're coming from your programming, that there's something that's not healed. As you heal whatever that is, or we look at that energy, when you see that same situation, and it's not that we like the situation, but we hold the light, and we look at that and we send it love, and we bless everybody in that situation, and even visualize what is the best opportunity, what is the best outcome here, what would be the most loving thing here, and start sending that energy. Because if we're all stuck in the energy, it just makes things worse. So somebody has to hold that higher energy and that higher consciousness, and that's really what this call was about, is engaging life from that higher consciousness. So humanity really can't heal itself. It doesn't know the frequency to heal itself. We need heavenly help by embodying these higher frequencies. That's how the heavens help us. And then, Missy, you can be the light where you're living. You can see that, do your inner work around it, see why I'm being triggered, and then ask. Or it could even be, bless this situation. God, shine your light on this situation, or universe, or whomever you pray to. And picture the best possible outcome. And that's for everyone what's going on. If we visualize the virus diminishing or shrinking or going away, and we surround it in so much love, and just let it dissolve. Picture the outcome that you want in every situation. Picture the outcome, how you picture New Earth, how you want to be living, that peace that you fear that is impossible or that you're not going to see. Start visualizing it. Journal about it. That will start bringing it into your reality. You'll start seeing it, and again, you'll be that light that anchors in the higher frequencies. That's what our work is as light workers, is to be the light.
Yes, I love that, and I hope that you're feeling that, Missy. I know we can get caught up in, like, the fear of that, but when we do hold that higher vision of New Earth, know that other people are picking up on that vibe. We are in a shift in our world, and there is good things coming, and these frequencies are here to support us. So I love what you said there, Denise Marie. It really is our choice point in all situations as well. There will be new inspiration for New Earth solutions. That's the exciting part. And so for those who peek at the news, as we say, when we go to peek at the news, to be aware of it, we don't get caught up in that energy, but we use that to fuel our New Earth vision even more. And I love that. That's our work. That's why we've said our expression of love and our sharing a smile to someone is our greatest action, and it is worth $1 million. So thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Karen would like you to, she first says, thank you for the amazing energy download. Would you please look at my energy channel up and down through my chakras? Is there a blockage at the crown or the heart?
Okay, Karen, let's feel into well, I'm feeling more in the heart. So what I would like, Karen, or I invite you to do, is to focus on your heart, and everyone is invited to do this, is bring your attention into your heart center and sense the love that is already there in your heart. And just we'll take a moment here and just focus. And you're probably already starting to feel that energy shift. And as you focus on the love that's already there, every single person has love in your heart. You were born with that love in your heart. Everybody has access to it. We have walls in front of our heart and that it's hard to get in there, but everybody has that love. And as you focus on that love, all of a sudden it will feel like the floodgates open and just all this love will come pouring out, and you'll sense all this love that's already in your heart. But if you spend the next 30 days spending a few minutes each day focusing on your heart and feeling the love that's already there, that's going to open up that heart center. Also spend time thinking about things you love. Puppies and kids are a great one, but whatever it is that you love, as you focus on that and notice what happens in your heart. And as you do that, so there's a frequency coming through right now for you, Karen, that will kind of push the blockages up so you'll have an awareness of them. And so you can kind of look at it, and there may even be something coming up right now. And then as you observe it, and you don't go into it and go into a big story and all of that, you just notice the energy. So we're working on an energetic level, not the story that goes with it. And then just let that it will process if we don't get stuck in the story. If you're the observer, you notice what's happening in your heart, that higher frequency comes in and just unravels and unwinds that pattern. And then you'll feel even more. It opens up that space so even more love can flow through your body. But there was a lot of energy coming there for Karen, and I feel she's going to feel that open up in her heart.
I think we can all feel that listening to those words and truly feeling our soul. This is the lesson, and it is truly beautiful as we remember that. We remember that feeling. Okay. We have time for one more caller. I'm going to go over to Tucson, Arizona. Caller, area code 520. Hello, you are unmuted.
Thank you. Is this me?
Yeah.
Suzanne? Oh, bless your heart. Well, I'm relating to everything that's been said today. I'm so impressed, but I also, I had the inclination just to call so I can get more clarification, because as I generally do, focusing on everything, I don't think I get as far as I would like, or whatever that means. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what are you focusing on when you said you're focusing on everything? What is the everything?
On my root chakra and my physical body, strengthening my physical body. I'm working with making sounds for expression, and also my physical body. And I'm want my heart to be more open. I want more, consistency. I can feel lots of compassion, but it seems like in the midst of things, I pop into old patterns.
Okay. Was there trauma? Was there some traumatic experience? Trauma. An old trauma that wasn't healed?
I'm sure I've had many that weren't healed. I think, I don't seem to access that. I seem to, whenever I get quiet, I get happy. My heart opens and I get very happy. And sometimes I just chuckle. I'm just so happy. So I don't know if this happiness is bypassing my not looking at the things that, I don't know.
Well, if you're feeling happy, that's where you want to go. If you find that happiness, so I was sensing there was a little piece of trauma, just a little blockage. I'm going to bring some energy through for that, and I don't really like to go looking for things. Now, when someone specifically asks, I'm tuning in, but as you said, you go to that happy place. That's focus on that. And those traumas, when they're ready to be revealed to you, they will come up. But this energy, it's more like any walls that are around your heart, we'll say. This will just start to bring down the walls.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And so just notice what's happening. You'll start to feel this. And sometimes it might take a couple of seconds from when I started to when it hits you. But focus on your heart and just notice what you're feeling.
I'm feeling like I'm being pulled backward, like I'm being pulled backward, and there's a strong force running through from my throat into my tailbone, just pulling me backward.
Okay. So just feel that energy. And just stay with it a moment. You're just being flooded in this energy of love and light and expanding your heart, this expansion energy, and also a grounding energy, so that the more grounded you are, the more you can open up. And this goes for everybody on the call, or anybody listening to the replay will benefit from this energy. And we're just bringing that all the way through your body, grounding you into the earth, helping you to feel more and more grounded, and allowing more and more expansion of the upper chakras. So you'll feel this up and down your spine. It's just like a little alignment happening here. And just let it complete. Just go with it. I know my body's bouncing all over the place with this energy that's coming through. So what are you noticing?
I'm noticing that. First I noticed there was a sense of like my body straightened and I was stable at a certain point, and now that it's pulling, it feels overwhelming. This much energy, this much love, this much openness. It feels like it's overwhelming, and yet I'm going to stay with it. It's even, my crown is dancing around. My calves are kind of shaking. So it's a lot, and I'm so appreciative.
You are doing a wonderful job on the inner work. You've done your work. You're doing your work. You're actually way more open than you even know. You are doing a great job. And sometimes we push or we don't really acknowledge how much work we've done and how what a wonderful job we are doing to continue to anchor your light. You're doing a great job.
Anchor. Just anchor. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you. Anchor your light, goddess.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, Denise, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. Share with us what happens in a personal session with people. I want to talk about a special offer that you've got with audios, how people can work with those. This is all energy work, taking us to another level, embodiment on a new level of light. So what happens in a session with you?
Well, in a session, it's specific to you, and it's similar to what we're just doing right there, but it's a whole hour focused just on you. So sometimes a frequency will come through to undo stuckness. There might be some pain we have to shock awake so we can look at that and release it. We might undo numbness or loosen the ego's grip. Sometimes it's working on opening your heart or healing your little boy or your little girl. It could be a trauma release, rewiring of lack consciousness or victim consciousness. It's one that's been coming up a lot is people that start to wake up, they have these patterns of like going back to sleep. So we might have to look at some of the habitual patterns that you have. So they're always different. We'll be looking how to align your life to your soul's calling. It's really whatever is needing to come through for you. And in the private session, it will be on Zoom or by phone, whatever you're comfortable with. But it feels really safe and nurturing. You never feel judged. There's space for calmness. And when you're relaxed and in that energy, it's really easy to land these higher frequencies that are wanting to come through for each person. So it's really a special time together. And then there's also the audios, and I look at the audios as a product of the universe. These are the frequencies that I was guided to share with people, and it points people to their soul. And that's what this work is about, embodying more light and living as your soul. You'll be learning to be your light body. So it can hit your blockages. It might, there'll definitely be divine love that always comes through in every energy session. There'll be frequencies of peace and healing frequencies. So it truly is a special time together. And then there's also a Mastery Empowerment course, which is renewing your commitment to your soul, and that will be included in the special offer. And I will say for everybody that your soul is waiting to live heaven on earth in your physical body. Your soul is waiting, asking for people, like they want to come into your body, souls do, and live here fully present. So your soul's working to come into a body just as you're working down here to open up to bring in your soul. So on both levels, it's working. So we'll have a lot of fun together doing our Mastery Empowerment class and doing an energy session for those who feel called to that.
Yes, beautiful. You've seen her in action, and she is spot on. And she is very in tune with her own body, and that allows her to mirror back to you what's going on with your own embodiment. So this is available for you. It's a personal session, and the audio is with the Mastery Empowerment course. That is coming up. So thank you, Denise. The link for that is available on this webpage. Please check it out and see if this is something that you can benefit from. Denise Marie is a serious light worker on a mission, and she helps so many people. And she's been on this mission well ahead of this great pandemic, and that in itself is an amazing story. Again, following this higher self guidance. So thank you, Denise Marie. As we say goodbye, would you like to share anything that we didn't get to today?
Well, I would close with just focus on this new energy of love. These higher frequencies of divine love are flowing to the earth. Tend to your vibration first. Align with your soul. Align with love. And then take action.
Yes, that is New Earth. Align with love, align with your soul, and take that action. That is New Earth, and we honor all of you for holding your vision of New Earth, for feeling this essence of love that is you, that is awaiting your connection. New Earth is here. I want to thank my guest, Denise Marie, for this very powerful and special quantum conversation. Thank you so much, Denise Marie.
Thank you, Lorraine. It was wonderful being back.
Wonderful being back as well. Again, if you feel the call in your heart to work with Denise Marie, check out the special offer that is available. And now it is time to dance our way to the cosmic heart. And this is where we're holding that love and maybe moving our body and feeling the expression of love through our physical motion of the body. Enjoy. quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.